CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
And good morning to you and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm your host this morning, Gloria Neal. And this morning we are going to talk about hunger in Atlanta. And we start with an organization that has been helping for decades, Hosea Helps. And with us is Elizabeth Omalami. And you just completed really another successful Hosea Feeds for Thanksgiving. So first of all, how many years have you been feeding and how many people have you helped? Because you all have just been phenomenal in the community.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you, Gloria, to tell a little bit of our story. We started feeding in 1970. So this is our 47th Thanksgiving event. And it's more than a feeding. We have medical care by Morehouse School of Medicine, clothing, showers, hot showers, and barbers and beauticians. We deliver about 22,000 meals to the sick and the shut in.
Oh, wow.
So a kids corner. So all of that is like a festival of services.
Wow.
And we're just so glad to be on the other side of Thanksgiving.
You know, that is so phenomenal. And it's interesting because I don't think a lot of people realize how much goes into it, how many people that you fed, how much you participate in. For the viewers who don't know, because so many times when an organization has been around as long as yours has, you think people know. Where does the name come from?
Hosea Williams, who was a field marshal for Martin Luther King, and he saw a man eating out of a garbage can one day, and he gave the man a sandwich, and the man ate through the paper and everything to get to the sandwich. And to have that kind of hunger in America, and especially in Atlanta, was really shocking for him. This was 2 years after Dr. King was killed. He went right across the street to Reverend William Holmes Borders Church and started feeding the hungry every week at that time. Wow. And so it came from an epiphany of a man who was an action man, Hosea, and my mother also, Juanita Williams. And so I've been working at Feed the Hungry since I was like 4.
Wow.
4 or 5 years
old. They started you out early.
They started us early. You know, we used to have to, take sandwiches out, stand on the corner and beg for money and do all kind of things.
Yeah.
Give away our Christmas toys.
Right.
Because he, after leaving the movement, had to find something else he could be passionate about, and it ended up being poverty, issues of poverty, whether it was housing, food, medical care, all of that.
You know what? It is the season of giving and the season of really being blessed. Is it something a lot of times that we find is lost when you start thinking about everybody is so bent on getting, and going out and buying stuff? You talked about how you were taught at a very early age to give back, to go and help. Think sometimes that's missing in this season of giving?
I think it's missing because more working people are in need. I think that our, donors are primarily individuals. Right. 68% of our donations come from working people. And when they go to For Hosea, the number 4, HOSEA.org, and they give, they're giving to our year-round services like our homeless prevention, rent and utility assistance, of course our daily food distribution from our food bank. We have SEEDCO, which is federal program analysis. We can sign you up for any federal program.
Oh, wow.
And we do Grady Hospital boxes to senior citizens high-rises. So I think that people just need to know all the things we do so they'll be more comfortable with giving, and also you can see where your money went.
Right.
Because we're run by our volunteers, are the core of our organization. So you can bring your donation, you can text it, you can go online, and then come down and work with us.
Right. You talk about all of working and being a part of this, and it's so positive. I know you all have a Christmas party coming up. Talk a little bit about that and talk about how many people use your services.
Well, we work with 50,000 people a year.
Wow.
And it's amazing. I mean, we are able to, use all kinds of donations from furniture to clothing, etc. And the children's Christmas party, the reason I like it is because they get such a big bag of toys that they just drag it out. So they come, they call, us at 755-3353, and then we get the boy's name, the girl's name, and the age.
Right.
And then we just make these big bags full of toys, and they come and pick them up. And I think the concern with me in this region is the redevelopment of the inner city,
Right.
so that the poor are having to move outside of the inner city and finding affordable housing. And then when they move out there are no services out there, so then they get bumped back to us looking for example, toys so their children can have a Christmas.
Exactly. How many of the faces and how have those faces changed over the years? I know you've seen it because people think,
Yes.
oh, I won't need those services, or that can't be me. How have you seen those faces change throughout the years?
You wouldn't believe the people that you would recognize that call us and say, can I meet you after hours? Because I don't want anybody to know I'm over here getting food. So the working poor with Atlanta's minimum wage of $5.75 an hour cannot live in the inner city. And so the challenge that we're having is reaching out to them, doing as much for them while we've got them.
Yeah.
So we try to be a one-stop shop. We'll sign you up for all these federal benefits. We'll put you with a case manager. We'll make sure we meet your basic needs so you have money left over at the end of the month, so you can pay your rent. So I think the face of homelessness, which I started with mostly men,
Right.
then it became finding women living in their cars with their children. And then it became whole families
Right.
for working people.
Right.
So we have a real concern in our city that what's going to happen to these people who are not even trained technologically to even get a better job, many of them.
Absolutely. You know what? We can continue this conversation when we return some of the other services the Hosea organization provides. Stay with us.